Erica, welcome to the Lessons of a Lashpreneur show.
Thank you.
Did you know I had a podcast?
I did. I didn't know I would ever be on one with you, though.
Big day. First time for everything. So what I wanted to bring you on the episode for was just kind of share your experience with Momentum Mastermind. So let's start with where you were before you joined and kind of where you were struggling and why you thought this program might be a good fit for you.
Yeah, your email came to me at the perfect time. I had one employee after the pandemic and we reopened, and she was asking me for a raise, and I was on a commission-based salary. And I didn't really know how to go forward with paying her without it cutting into my profits. And I'd always heard you can't pay more than 50%. So I kind of like knew that already.
I mean, you can, but
it's not profitable for you. So I saw her email, and then I was like, this like was what I needed from the universe. And so then we set up the call, and yeah, it was just what I needed at the right time.
Beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about the journey, because it's been about 5 months now. And you've had a lot of stuff competing for your attention outside of business. And so it's, I know you've been kind of frustrating that maybe that you haven't been able to progress in the business as much, but you're now having like great awareness of like your time was actually spent where it needed to be spent.
Yeah.
So what has been the journey thus far in the first couple of months, going through the curriculum, bonding with the girls, getting coaching?
The first thing that stood out in my mind that was kind of like oh my gosh, I always thought I needed somebody to be just like me. Like, I need a me. Why can't they be like me? I need a twin. And when you started saying, they will open their own business if they could do what you did, that kind of shifted my whole mindset that I don't need somebody who thinks like me or has like the work ethic so much as me. But yeah, because they will. And that was a fear of mine, is people opening up their own thing and stealing all your clients or putting all this energy into them and then trading them and they leave. So that really like shifted my mindset. And then it kind of like changed from there. And then everybody on this class, I guess, is on a different journey. And so it's nice. We all like take pieces from each other that we can learn from. And some people are ahead of us, and so we can learn from their mistakes. And some people like we can help give advice to, and then you kind of realize like, oh, I used to be there. I am like,
I do know something.
Yeah. It's been great. And then I just love the, like, every 2 weeks we have something to look forward to and somebody like we can relate to, because it's so hard being a business owner and not, like, people don't get it. Your husband, your parents, your friends sometimes don't get it, that don't work for themselves. So this is a great program because we're all like in the same mindset.
Yeah. And you guys, it's interesting to see, I think, even for you guys, because we do have one member that is at 2 locations, which is significantly higher than some of the other girls. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to see that you guys actually are still learning a lot of the processes, even though, she's technically, I mean, you could put on paper that she's further along, but a lot of what her growth was very haphazard, and she's been very successful, but she still is having to go and refine processes, which is a lot of what we teach as far as curriculum in this. It's just like the step-by-steps.
Yeah.
So what are you kind of looking forward to most? Because I know we've dealt with some shiny objects with you and just like, oh, I have all the ideas and all the things. And I think you had a really big breakthrough even on our last call of where your time and energy is focused to get to actually your goals.
Yeah, like, it's nice because we always have things that are going to come in, or you see people on social media doing something and it's like, oh, I should be doing that. Like, I can be making money doing this training. But then you like brought me back down and said, what were your goals when we first interviewed? And mine were to spend more time with my family. And I never really like thought of it like I'm just trading money for time, and I'm not getting back that time with my family, because what the goals were I thought I wanted would still require me to be working, where if I put the energy into like building a team out where I can be less like in the chair and more working on the business, that was a good breakthrough for me. And now knowing like there's constantly going to be shiny objects in your whole life of business that are going to be wanting your attention, but then just going back and remembering like, is this going to get me to where I want to be? And if it's no, then like, don't take it, don't do it. Keep to your path of like what's going to get you where you want and to be your happiest.
Yeah, because I think, and this is a big transition to go through as a business owner when you are in hustle mode to get clients, right? You get used to that of, I got to add more clients a day and I don't want to turn away clients, because you're used to almost this scarcity mindset that there's not enough money or there's not enough clients to go around. And it's having that transition to choices that you get to choose where your time and energy is best spent. And if you're not aware of it, which I think was part of it, it made sense because she wanted to be an educator and she's like, I'm getting people asking for education. She's like, I could take a couple hours a week and do it. Why not? It's great money. But what that actually was costing her was building out a scalable business model where she's not trading her time for money anymore. So the time, even though it's a couple hours a week or whatever, spent building out the education, which is a completely separate business model. What if that time was spent building out what would get her to her goal? And I think that's the beautiful thing that a lot of you guys are realizing is the amount of opportunities that are going to start falling in your lap at the level of success you guys are at will not stop. And so it's really, now you get the beauty of choice of, I want this life and I'm going to make decisions that get me closer, faster, better, easier to that goal. And so that's been a really cool thing for me to watch your journey and your progression. Because I think out of everybody, you've been the most resistant to coaching because you're like, nope, I got to figure it out. And I was like, okay. But it's been cool over the past, I think even just the past 2 months. And as you've gotten more capacity and kind of just relief in your personal life, that
definitely there's a lot of like personal things, and personal and business are always going to go together, and it's going to show up and everything. So you got to work through that.
Yeah, but you didn't. The thing I admire about you is that you didn't stop, and nobody would have faulted you for just being like, I need to pause on business and focus on personal life. You got to a point where you were still, and I think you were doing it because it's something you truly love and enjoy, is still feed into the business. Yeah. And have that almost be an escape in some ways, because she was dealing with a lot of heavy stuff, and that took its toll. And like I know that, and you guys know personally, you guys know what's going on with me and kind of how it's stressful to balance it all. And you've been a beautiful picture of, even just yesterday after all the mindset stuff, of looking at all the hardships, but finding the beauty in what that's created in your life now.
We've seen like something bad's happened, there's something good that came out of it if you learned a lesson from it or brought you somewhere, where I am today. And because of things that happened in my past is where I am now, and it shaped me to get here. So I wouldn't, turn it back. Yeah. Even though it's hard.
Right. It's like you don't want to try to do it.
But I wouldn't do it the same way,
but that you're okay, and that you're actually probably better off for having those experiences, no matter how difficult they are to go through.
It kind of like showed me personally how strong I am, and I didn't see that before. And I'm like, dang, I'm like
kind of a badass. Kind of a badass.
If I made it through that, like I could make it through all these other things too,
right? Like hiring a team member, whether you know what you're doing or not. You're like, maybe not.
I'm here.
Love it. Okay, so there's 3 different components to this program. There's the coaching, the community, and the curriculum, like the content that we teach. Out of those 3, which one do you think has been like the most beneficial to you or most surprising to you?
Like the content is great for me because I struggle with coming up with that. And I hate anything with like writing. That's not my strong point. I'm more of a creative mindset, and also I'm dyslexic, so I just hate putting anything on paper and like possibly spelling it wrong and having people judge you over that. So that's helpful to have like processes in place, because my brain just goes everywhere. And then the other thing for me is just the community with the other girls, especially finally getting to see them in person. Like we just picked up like we knew each other for years. It was so nice.
Your first time
and it's like, I know you, and
you're taller than I thought.
Like when I saw Tara, I was like, I've only seen you in this little box. And that's really, really great, because you need positive like influences that people understand what you're going through, and this program helps bring you together with those people. And it's great, we're like not in competition with each other, since we're all in different states, and we're all like, everyone's friendly and shares stuff, and we all want to see each other grow. And so that's like such a beautiful like women empowerment. Like you don't have to be 40, but it actually, this is like a real
mission
one.
Accomplished.
Not
Mission
a fake one.
Yes. And I think, and we talked about this in some other interviews, just how important that connection is in that support system. And even just being in a room with these people who operate at a higher level or vibration, if you want to look at the physics of it, because if you operate at a higher vibration and you're more in a creative space, you get out of the day-to-day and the survival, and you're able to create. And that's what's kind of beautiful about, and why we call it a mastermind, is you're bringing all these great brains together to come up with really great solutions, instead of operating in your treatment room going, God, I don't know how to face this problem or what to do. So it's been really even beneficial for me to like be around you guys and that supporting it. I miss having that community. So
Yeah.
selfishly, I'm excited. Okay, one last question. If somebody's on the fence about joining this program, if they were Erica 6 months ago, what advice would you give yourself to make a decision, whether it's the right decision or not?
Well, like when I did my initial call with you, I remember I was like, if I have to pay whatever amount to not make all these mistakes and costly time and energy into the wrong candidates, like why would you not pay that if someone's literally giving you the roadmap? Like, this is how you do it. This is what you need to do. And we have support along the way. Like, definitely do it. Do not try and do it on your own. I mean, you can, but it's probably going to take you a lot longer.
It's going to
and
cost
it's
you
going to cost
something.
you more,
Yeah.
whether it be time, whether it be money. Like, just, I mean, I hire people, accountant, a bookkeeper. I hire people that I don't know what I'm doing because they are trained in that. That's what you're trained in, is like helping us, you know, be a coach and show us the way. And it's like, why you need to listen to other people. And if you get to the level where you're hiring employees, like you probably have income to put into classes or coaching, or you should be reinvesting into your business because it's going to show up for you and your clients and the team members that you hire on. So definitely do it. It's worth it. I would pay it all over again.
Well, thank you. I'll take it. No, I'm kidding.
I told you at the beginning. You're
we'll
like,
talk
I
more
should
about
raise my
what's
prices.
going to happen here soon. So yeah, it's going to cost you something, whether it's time, whether it's money, any of that. There's always a cost of something and there's always benefits. So it really is just like the ROI. If you're going to just DIY it, especially when it comes to team, US based, there's a lot of legalities involved that can get very costly. Just go back and listen to like the first 4 or 5 episodes we did on like the hardships that come with building out a team and lawsuits and 1099s versus W-2s. Because that gets very costly. And so if you can learn to avoid those things, because most people they're not aware of the laws. And so they just automatically 1099, 50% commission everybody. And then they wonder why they still have to take clients and they are paying their team members more than they're paying themselves. It's extremely common. Yeah. So that's a great advice.
Yeah, I was lucky to grow up in this industry, so I had a lot of background knowledge on that.
You were
My
born in that
mom
industry.
and aunt's are both hairdressers.
Don't do it that way. Love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute joy to work with you. I'm not done with you yet. If you guys are interested in learning more about the mastermind or you want to apply, applications open May 25th through June 10th for the program starting July through December. And then, there's gonna be more people like Erica in that program. So if you're interested, go to lashpreneur.com/mastermind, and I will see you next time.
Do it.
Do it.